Well, good morning. Still a few minutes of morning left. My name is Pastor Scott Savage, and I am here to host a time of Q&A for you guys who just finished watching our online service, wrapping up our series called When People Meet Jesus. So we have had just a blast going through the Gospels, looking at these 6 different encounters that people had with Jesus. And it's been great to hear from so many people about how God has been using either specific messages in this series or just the progression to impact them. People who've been reading the devotionals, the reading plan. It's been awesome to just see how God has been at work through this series. And so we're here to take your questions today about the final message in this series. You can send us those questions at here, this number right here, 928-288-5490. If you're watching on YouTube, because this is the only place to watch, you can also put a question in the comments, and we will do our best to get to those questions. While our friends at YouTube let the world know that we're here, we wanted to be able to remind you that it is Holy Week. And so next Sunday is Easter. Most significant day in the calendar each year for us as followers of Jesus. Our faith rests on the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and so we're going to celebrate that next Sunday. If you missed the announcement earlier in the service, we do have a Easter specific schedule. So we will be live at 9 o'clock and 10:30, both in person at Mile High Middle School and online here on YouTube, our website, and Facebook. So you've got four options, 2 of them in person, 2 of them online, 9 o'clock and 10:30. In light of that, we will not be doing this video time like we've been doing today, taking your questions. We're going to look after Easter at what this looks like in kind of some new dynamics that we're working through. But we wanted you to make sure you're aware that there are 2 online services. If you're going to watch online, 9 and 10:30, all the details about Easter, including some things that are only available at our in-person services, all of those are available at this URL, prescottcornerstone.com/Easter. So we'd encourage you to go there, get all the details. If you're looking to invite somebody this week, we've got tons of digital invite cards that you can download, send to people in an email, a text message. You can also post those on your social media. And so we would just encourage you to be intentional about inviting people to celebrate and hear about the story of the resurrection. We will be talking about it both from the vantage point of somebody who's coming as a skeptic, but also what it means for us who are believers in the resurrection. So really, really special day, and we hope that you can join us. So we encourage you, if you've got a question, to text it or put it here in the comments. I wanted to begin with a conversation I had with somebody in our physical lobby after the service today. This is kind of our digital equivalent of that here in my office. It's kind of our digital lobby to connect. And we had a great conversation about power. And this person was talking about just a recent experience they had where they felt powerless, and how they made choices in light of that, choices that they now saw as maybe, I'm not sure if they saw them as sinful. They definitely didn't see them as wise, and they began to recognize, hey, the reason that I did that choice is because I was feeling powerless and I wanted to grab back some of that power. And one of the things that we didn't talk about in the message is how do you discern the difference between having power, using power for good reasons, and having power, using power, grabbing for power for the wrong reasons. And I think that is what's most important in terms of discerning it. Again, it's one message on power. We can't say everything. But it's important for us to recognize that it's not that having power is necessarily a sinful or bad thing. There are people in the story of Jesus who have power, and it doesn't keep them from experiencing Jesus. There's a story of a Roman centurion that we just read through a couple weeks ago in our gospel readings, and he has tremendous power, and yet he's still a seeker of Jesus. Down the road in the writings of Paul, we're going to see about people who are influential people who come and experience the grace and the goodness of God through Jesus Christ and the gospel. Their power doesn't keep them from experiencing Jesus. However, in this Holy Week story, what we see is we see these four bad guys, Judas and Caiaphas and Barabbas and Pilate, wrestling with their expectations of how Jesus the Messiah would relate to the institutional religious power, would relate to the institutional political power, how he himself would hold power or use power, and it unsettles and disturbs all of their expectations. Those people who came singing Hosanna on Palm Sunday, many of them were the same people who were shouting, "Crucify him," on Friday. How did they make that flip? Because Jesus is not doing what they thought he would. He's not being the Messiah they expected him to be. They had a mindset of what it meant to hold power in the kingdom of the world, and they expected the Messiah to live according to that. And then Jesus introduces this whole new way of seeing power, using power, relating to power, and it doesn't meet their expectations, and they decide, we don't like that. We don't want that. So we just had a great conversation, and we talked about how do you begin to build the self-awareness so that you know, okay, what's motivating that grab for power? What's motivating that grasping for power? What's driving me to do these things? And again, in the book of 1 Samuel 16:9, we see this, that man looks at the outward appearance, the Lord looks at the heart. And so it's the motivation for going after that power that is so, so important. So it was a great conversation, and if that's at all a struggle for you, maybe there's some wisdom there, or at least some encouragement. So if you've got a question, we'd love to answer it. You can put it here in the comments, or you can text it to us. But we would love to interact with you around those. We want to encourage you. This is a big, big week. And so I think I've got a copy of our reading plan cards in my desk. I did at one point. Yeah, here it is. That's what happens when you're a pack rat. We'd encourage you to dive into the reading plan this week. I got caught up myself yesterday. I was 3 days behind this week, but I'm all caught up now. And so if you're reading along with us according to the plan, we start John 8 through 10. That's our passage for tomorrow. If you're going to do the modified plan and you haven't started John yet, we'd encourage you to read John 1, 2, 3 today, John 4, 5, 6 tomorrow, and then each day this week through Saturday, read 3 chapters a day. So a couple chapters in John are rather long, John 6 in particular. So some days it might take you closer to 20 minutes. The average, though, is typically about 15 minutes of reading. And if you're getting our devotionals, tack that on top of that. But we'd encourage you just to read through that and begin to think about, what it is that God is teaching you, how he's encountering you, how he's speaking to you. And so we'd encourage you to follow along with us in that reading plan that way. Also, if you've got a story to tell about how God has worked through this series, how God has worked through the reading plan or the devotionals, please don't be shy with those. We would love to hear from you. You can just email me, scott@prescottcornerstone.com, or you can just send us a message to our general inbox. That's contact@prescottcornerstone.com. We'd love to hear how God has been at work. We'd love to celebrate with you. We'd love to celebrate the story as a church of God working within us, and we encourage you to be praying about how God's going to work this week as we gather on Friday to celebrate communion and Good Friday, as we gather on Sunday morning to celebrate the resurrection. And this is just a great opportunity for us to invite people and share the hope of the resurrection with them. So I want to thank you for hopping on this video. Again, as mentioned at the beginning, we will not be here after the 10:30 service next week. We're going to be at our in-person location celebrating some fun outdoor activities with those who attend in person, but we will have a 9 o'clock and a 10:30 service online for the first time in a very long time, special Easter schedule, and then we will also have both those services live at Mile High Middle School. If you watch online, you will notice things look different. We're actually going to begin broadcasting on Friday, Good Friday at 6 p.m. for our Good Friday service. We're going to begin broadcasting from Mile High Middle School. What you just watched in our online service was recorded this week during the week at Yavapai College. And due to the work they're going to do at the Performing Arts Center, with a new roof and a new air conditioning system, we won't have access to that building for several months. And so we will be broadcasting from Mile High. So things will look different. It's not a new church, it's just a different venue. And we encourage you to join us. If you're somebody who watches from home, mark that 6 to 7 window on Friday night. And then Easter Sunday, pick one of those windows. Either watch at 9 o'clock, it'll be about an hour till a little after 10, or watch at 10:30 till a little after 11:30. And it'll be a great opportunity if you are a believer in the resurrection, if you're not a believer in the resurrection, if you're somewhere in the middle, there's going to be something for everybody in that message. So hope it's a great opportunity for you to invite somebody to watch. No pressure. They can watch from home. Don't need to register. It's just a really easy opportunity to look in and hear. And we will be honest and respectful, and honestly probably speak more than people expect to some of the questions that they have about the resurrection. So thanks so much for watching this video today. Thanks for worshiping with us. Thanks for your engagement, your giving, your support in this season. We're going to close out this video time without any questions, but we want to say thanks for hopping on here and giving us a chance to connect with you. We're praying for you to have an amazing experience of Jesus' presence this week during Holy Week. And we pray that the reading that you've been doing and the preparation makes this time even more rich. So thanks so much. Have a fantastic day.